about the amazing things happening both at Hillcrest High School and in the OCDSB. So my name is Janice Isaac, and I'm very proud to be the new principal at Hillcrest High School. It would be wonderful if we could welcome all of you into the building and into our wonderful auditorium this evening, but we're not quite there yet as far as COVID restrictions go, but it's nice to see so many people joining us this evening. I very much enjoy these evenings and the opportunity to show students and parents how great high school life can be. We'll flip to the next slide. Yes, before going any further, it's very important to acknowledge that our meeting is taking place on the unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin territory. We thank the Algonquin Nation for hosting us and recognize their enduring presence on the land. And we'll play a message from our director.
Welcome to high school. We hope that this will be an exciting educational and personal journey in your life. All of our high schools are looking forward to working with you and supporting your hopes and dreams. The high schools in the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board are dynamic, engaging, and inclusive schools where all students are welcome. All students can celebrate who they are and can be successful. The breadth of exciting and supportive programs and experiences available for our students is immense. As a district, we're committed to student achievement, well-being, and student voice through inclusive, equitable, and meaningful programs that provide students a vibrant array of learning opportunities. Next year, we're thrilled to support de-streamed classes in grade 9 math, English, French, geography, and science. Our commitment in this important shift is that our students are the drivers of their destination and their future, supported by their families and their teachers. Across the system, our commitment to the Indigenous Human Rights and Equity Roadmap and our strategic plan ensures that learning for all is at the core of everything we do.
Thank you. That was a message from OCDSB Director Camille Williams-Taylor. Tonight, you will also meet our two wonderful vice principals, Melissa Campbell-Schwartz and Tricia Jones, and you will hear from two of the most dedicated and resourceful guidance counselors in the entire school board, Jamie Bell and Dan De La Fuente. The image on this slide is, of course, a very classic picture of the Hillcrest building that was built in 1961. This building has the capacity to hold over 1,000 students, but we currently benefit greatly from a smaller student body with just under 500 students enrolled. Fortunately, though, we know our community is growing again, and we cannot wait to welcome new hawks to the nest. Our school is an amazing facility. We have one of the best auditoriums in the city. We have 2 full gyms and a weight room, 2 music rooms, just to name some of the features. And of course, those music rooms host one of the best strings programs in the city. We are also surrounded by a vast field and green space that make us the hub of the entire community. And we have a partnership with the Ottawa International Soccer Club that gives us daily access to an amazing turf field along Smythe Road. Later in the program, you will learn even more about our school activities and clubs that truly make Hillcrest life great for our students, and those students, of course, who wear the blue, red, and gold colors. At this time, I'd like to pass things over to a rep from our school council. Is Janet on the call?
She's here.
Hello.
There she is.
Okay, hello, Janet. Over to you.
Okay, thanks. Everybody can hear me? So yeah, I want to welcome the grade 8 families on behalf of school council. As we look ahead to spring and to the eventual start of this school year in September, we have reason to hope that school will be going a bit back to normal maybe next year. No promises, but in the meantime, the Hillcrest School Council remains active in supporting the school through the many iterations of learning that have taken place over the last 2 years. The students and staff have shown again and again that they can adapt to ever-changing circumstances as we weather this global pandemic. So my name is Janet Mark Wallace, and this is the 3rd year that I've had kids at Hillcrest. My daughter graduated in the spring of 2021, and my son started grade 9 last September. I joined school council last year as co-chair, and I ran for re-election this year as secretary. My involvement on council has been a great opportunity to learn about the school and to meet the other school leaders. School council meets on the fourth Wednesday of each month from 7 to 8:30 p.m. All the parents of Hillcrest students are sent the link to this meeting, usually the week before, and everyone's encouraged to join. We hear reports from the student council representatives, the principal, the staff representative, the council treasurer, and the chair. This is also an opportunity for parents to submit questions to council to answer. And that can be done either during the meeting live or in the chat box, or by sending them in advance to the principal or the council executive. Another way to remain involved on council is to sign up for our email list. This will ensure that you are sent copies of our minutes and agenda prior to the meetings. And we sometimes use the email list to get feedback on issues like purchases or funding of resources for the school. And the more voices that we have, the better we can represent the parents. As for in-person events, it's been 2 years since we were last able to hold such an event, but perhaps with some luck, we can contemplate doing in-person events next year, particularly if they don't require being outside. Being inside. We would love to hear your voice about opportunities to come out and meet other families that make up the Hillcrest community. So we hope that our new grade 8 students are as excited to start Hillcrest as we are to meet them. And in the meantime, if you have any questions for council, don't hesitate to contact us anytime through Principal Isaac. And I don't know if Carolyn is on the call, but I was going to give her the chance to also say hello to everybody. She's our treasurer. Carolyn, are you out there? Maybe not. Okay.
Is it Carolyn Kropp? Is that who you're looking for?
Oh, she's here, but she can't unmute. Okay.
Sorry, Carolyn, just try now.
There we go. Sorry. Can everybody hear me? There we go. Hi, my name is Carolyn Kropp. I'm the incoming treasurer for Hillcrest Parent Council this year. I've had 3 children go through Hillcrest, 2 who's graduated, and a daughter who's currently in grade 10 with a 4th soon to be coming in about 2 years. I'm also an alumni of Hillcrest, so I have lots of history with Hillcrest, and I've been attending parent council meetings for the past 7 to 8 years. So yeah, as Janet said, looking forward to seeing a new group of parents come in. And for those of you who've helped out in elementary schools, we're always looking for fresh ideas, parents willing to help out. High school is always different. And so, yeah, we're always looking for new ideas and new helpers. So if you have any questions about the school itself, I've had the privilege of being in the school many times over the years. So for those of you who haven't had the chance to see even the inside of Hillcrest with your students for the past 2 years, I know it's a difficult thing. So yeah, if you have any questions that you need answered, I'd be happy to do that as well.
Okay, thanks very much, Janet and Carolyn. I'm really glad Carolyn mentioned the alumni at Hillcrest. The Hillcrest Alumni Association is one of the strongest groups in the city. So there's a long tradition here for sure. And so our class of 2026 will become one day alumni here as well. So I'll flip to the next slide. On this slide, you see the names of the great folks who are department heads and curriculum leads here at Hillcrest. It's a bit of a different structure than elementary school. So if you don't have a child in high school already, it might not be as familiar. But the great thing about department heads is that if you have any particular questions about the program or the courses that we offer here, or about how assessment and evaluation works in each of those programs, the department heads are the experts basically, and the best folks to go to answer those questions. So our department heads have their email addresses, I believe, available on our school website if needed. Okay. Next, I'm very honored to introduce you to our student council presidents. So Sham Patel and Akash, if you can jump in here and say a few words.
Hi everyone, my name is Sham Patel, and I think I did not get the dress code for this meeting. So right now we are in our grade 11 year. Me and Akash both run the student council, and throughout the year, even with all the challenges, we have had the chance to do a lot of fun events. And the big thing about student council is that everyone's welcome, and that's also a theme that translates towards Hillcrest too. It's when I was I remember it does not seem too long ago when I was on one of these meetings in person, getting ready for grade 9, and I could honestly say that Hillcrest could not have been more welcoming. It's a great school. There's always people looking to help. There's always opportunities to be involved. And one thing that was mentioned earlier is the sports facilities and also the sports teams. When I was in grade 9, I joined the soccer team and the basketball team and the volleyball team too. It's nice to get involved in high school. It's nice. It really helps with the transition from grade 8 to grade 9. And the transition from grade 8 to grade 9, a lot of people they'll tell you different things. They'll tell you that, oh, some it's hard, some say it's easy. The biggest thing to remember is that no matter what you are going through, everyone will always be here to help you. Teachers, students, myself and Akash, everyone wants you to succeed here, and everyone wants you to do the best possible. And that's represented, like I said, in teachers, in staff, in us, even with the guidance counselors. I don't know how many times I've emailed Miss Bell and Mr. De La Fuente to change my courses or to see what options we had. And it's been an amazing experience. It's been very welcoming, and everyone has just been very kind here. We do have events, going back to student council, we do have events. We try to have around 2 events per month. We have weekly meetings that now had to go online for a bit. Now we're back in person. We have over 34 members, which is great, unlike other years where it's been significantly less. And there's always stuff to do. So if you ever don't have anyone to sit with at lunch, like today, Ms. Jones, our student council and Ms. Jones were sorting out rapid antigen test kits to give out to students. This has been going on for a while. Then other times at lunch, we would have some fun games in the basement and just have like a lot of cool little fun events to make sure that no one's ever alone. Akash, you want to jump in?
Sure. Sorry if I didn't follow the dress code. It's quite opposite of what Shom did. I just returned home. But like Shom said, I think high school is a unique experience. It's a bit different from your elementary school, but I could assure you that Hillcrest is a great school. The staff are amazing. There's so many resources that could help you. Link Crew is a big one. They help with the transition between grade 8 to grade 9. Like I'm a Link member for this year, and I think it was a great opportunity meeting new faces. And one maybe big tip that I've been always hearing is like get involved, because your high school experience is much more fulfilling by getting involved. Even student council, we're always open to new ideas, and yeah, we're pretty excited for this. So I hope you have a smooth transition.
Yeah, and if anyone does have any questions or comments, I know going into grade 8, myself and Akash would talk. I think we had many conversations about, what is high school going to look like? What are we going to do? Oh my God, it's so scary. If anyone does have any questions, parents, students, please feel free to email us or contact us in any means. We will be happy to provide anything that we can. I know even just having like tips on organization and what bus to take to school, and how far can I go for lunch without being late back to my 3rd period class, and just any tips like that. It's very fortunate to have people like the staff here that are willing, and more than willing, that are happy to help you throughout this transition. And my tip is just to utilize that, because everyone here wants you to succeed and to be successful in your 4 years here. So I'm going to put our emails, I believe the chat will be recorded. I will put our emails in the chat below. And thank you, Akash. And if any questions, anything at all that we can help with, please don't feel shy. That's what we're here for. We're always here. Everyone is here just to make sure that we all do better.
Okay, thank you, Shom and Akash. That is most generous of you to agree to answer some questions for our incoming students. I'm sure that'll be much appreciated. Okay, and at this time, I'm going to pass things over to Vice Principals Trish and Melissa.
Okay, I'm going to step in here. My name is Melissa Campbell-Schwartz, and obviously I'm one of the VPs here, and I take care of the first half of the alphabet. I'd like to address the slide, a place for every student. And if you remember, Camille, our director, spoke of the OCDSB's Indigenous Equity and Human Rights Roadmap. This roadmap was the result of students, families, staff, and community partners within the OCDSB collaborating to create this roadmap to address systemic inequities and foster a culture of accountability. I can say that this really does center every decision that we make here at Hillcrest. Then speaking to the slide, commitment to equity, there is a very strong Indigenous education team within the OCDSB, and Hillcrest has a long history of really addressing the TRC calls to action. If you're able to walk into our building, you would see a phenomenal mural in our library. It runs the whole side of the library, and that was a collaboration with the elder that we have a long-standing relationship with, Albert Dumo, and the art department at our school. I'd also like to highlight that we were one of the early adopters of the Indigenous Voices class, which is a grade 11 English class, which has become the standard English class across the district, and that we have an Indigenous environmental and outdoor schism. Okay, and on to the next slide. Just wanted to highlight really here to folks that we do have lots of opportunities for students to feel comfortable at the school. We have a Black Excellence Club. We have an anti-Black racism course. We have Ragio, which is a school partner that comes into the building, and that we have an all-gender gym class. So we're not simply separating girls and boys anymore, and that we do have a very strong Rainbow Club in the building. And with that, I'd like to hand that over to my partner, Trish Jones.
Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to have so many of you join us this evening. It's just as Janice said at the beginning, it's unfortunate that we're not in person, but hopefully we will see you all soon. Just to continue our look at a commitment to equity, the majority of our students with special education needs continue their learning in a regular classroom with support which is continuously reviewed throughout their high school years, just as it has been in elementary school. There is a range of supports available for all our students, from our learning support teacher and for the support of specialized equipment and technology, should that be help to your child. And we also have a resource room that students can access should they need a quiet space or extra time, or just some support on getting that little bit of extra help if required. For our highest needs students in the building, or in the board, in fact, we do have specialized program classes that are available. These are considered on the basis of referrals from elementary schools typically coming into grade 9. My apologies. Learning for every child. The OCDSB supports equity and inclusion and offers engaging pathways for all our students. Our commitment to excellence for every student supports students to become collaborative, creative, critical thinkers, innovative, and stewards in a dynamic global environment. There is truly something for everyone in the OCDSB. This last slide, next slide, please, is the boundary map for Hillcrest. It's we have an interesting boundary here at Hillcrest. I hope you can see the purple. The full area is the catchment area for if you live in that area that's in in full purple, Hillcrest is your home school. I'm going to not use east and west. I'm going to use the directions on that physical piece of paper, but to the right hand side and sort of to the bottom, which is the checkered area, that is a shared boundary between us and Canterbury High School. And on the top left hand side, there is an area with dots. You might be able to see that. Yes, thank you for the cursor there. That is actually an area that is shared between us and Glebe for students, just students who are in the French immersion program. So that if you live in that area and you would like to consider us for your French immersion program, then you are more than welcome to do so, and we would love to welcome your child with us.
I think it's my turn. So hi, everyone. My name is Jamie Bell. I'm the head of guidance and special education at Hillcrest. I'm going to talk a little bit about what your high school experience or what your child's high school experience is going to look like in terms of academics. So in order to graduate from high school in 4 years, every student needs to have a total of 30 credits. So 18 of those credits are compulsory credits, which means that they are set by the Ministry of Education and every student has to complete them. And then 12 of those are elective credits, and that creates a total of 30. One course counts as 1 credit. Oh, it's okay, Dan. You can go to the next slide. So your child will do a total of 30 courses and potentially more over their 4 years' time with us, or potentially 5 years if that's the choice that you and your family make. Every student, in order to graduate, also needs 40 hours of community involvement, as well as they need to pass the provincial literacy requirement or the literacy test, or OSSLT. The 40 hours of community involvement, students can start in the summer after their grade 8. So you could start it this coming summer, and then you would record them. There's a paper form, or there is also an online form on the OCDSB as well as on our webpage, and you can record your hours there, and then you have to accumulate 40 by the time you graduate. Next slide. Thank you. There are different learning pathways, and as our director mentioned in her introductory message, we are de-streaming all of our grade 9 courses. So there will no longer be applied and academic courses for our junior grade 9 students. So everybody will be in the same class for math, science, geography, French, etc. And then when you get into grade 11 and 12, that's where we start looking at switching over to applied or college level courses, as well as academic and university level courses. At Hillcrest, we also offer locally developed level courses for students who might need some additional supports in various subjects.
Okay. Oops.
Still me.
So you okay.
All good. So at Hillcrest, course selection is obviously coming up, and you will be doing that with your grade 8 school. And so these are the options that we have at Hillcrest for your child to choose from. So every student must have an English, a math, a science, geography, French, and phys ed. And as Melissa mentioned, we are offering all gender gym. So that's just the PPL 1.0 with no extra letter. We are also offering girls gym and boys gym. So girls gym is the 1P and boys gym is the 1Q. And then every student has 2 elective choices. So one in the arts, so you can pick either drama, music, strings, or visual arts. And then one other choice in either business or technology. And Dan and myself will be meeting with all of your feeder schools over the coming weeks to make sure that we answer any of your questions. So if you're a little bit confused or not sure what exactly to pick, don't be afraid to either email us or talk to your teachers at your elementary school, and we'll make sure we answer those questions.
Hi.
And I'm going to pass it over to Dan, I think.
Thanks. I'm Dan Delafante. I'm guidance counselor here at Hillcrest High School. I'm also an alumni from Hillcrest High School. And this is just to show you as you go through. I know first year, a lot of grade 9 students come in, you know, hoping to make more selections. At least they have some now between the arts and the business or technology. But as you go through each of the grades, you'll see that there's more and more courses that that you can select, and less of the compulsory ones that you have to take. By the time you get to grade 11, you only need to take the grade 11 English and a grade 11 math, and then grade 12, your only compulsory would be grade 12 English. Meanwhile, it gives you the ability to start focusing in on what you want to do with your future after high school, looking at your post-secondary options and seeing what it is that you where you want to start looking into. So if you're more into the maths and sciences, you can start gearing towards grade 11 and 12 into the maths and sciences. Could be that you're more interested in languages, or perhaps even into Canada and World Studies or social studies. If you have chosen to join our French immersion program, there are two ways. There's the French immersion program, where it's a total of the 4 immersion classes that you take in each grade, plus 6 optional courses that you can take that will be done in French as well. If you choose, you can also do the extended certificate, which is again the 4 mandatory classes in French immersion throughout each of the grades, and then 3 optional courses as well. Every grade 12 student that's taking French class has the ability to take the DELF certification, and that's essentially a test where you can see where your standing is, your competency is in oral, written, and comprehension. It's recognized throughout the world, and it's something that we encourage our students to take, so to help them out in the future. For the pathways, as I mentioned, the course selections in grade 9 for French immersion, you would be doing, you'll notice the science class will be in French. You'll have your French immersion class, as well as geography. That'll also be done in French, but you still have your electives that you can choose from, since those are 3 mandatory courses in grade 9. In grade 10, you'll have the sciences again in French. You'll have French history in French, and then civics and careers will also be in French, as well as your French immersion. And then when you get into grade 11 and 12, it's the French immersion courses and an elective of your choice in French. Again, gearing towards what you'd like to do in post-secondary. We also have a fantastic music program that has been very well recognized throughout. We ended up being CBC's music class winner of the greatest music class a number of years ago. We also have included in the selection, if students take music or strings, they also have the option of taking 2 courses that's outside of the timetable, both band and orchestra. You would have to be signed up for the strings or music class to join them, but they are traditionally held in the mornings before school. So rise and shiners might be good for them. And you can, if you're interested in that, you can always make inquiries to Jamie or myself, and we'll help you set up. But the course codes are AMI 10 and AMO 10 for band and orchestra. And just remember that when you're selecting it as an extra course, that it's also that you do need to have the music class or the strings class when you're taking it. We also provide the International Certificate Program, which is a neat program that Mr. Olson runs. It's geared towards students that have an international focus, that want to be more worldly and perhaps have careers that are more internationally based. It starts off with the first component, which is essentially learning a a language other than English or French. So you can take a Spanish course, an Arabic course, Mandarin, whichever choices. We do offer as a board Saturday language schools, so that's also an opportunity there to get that credit. The second component is taking 4 internationally focused courses. So that could be anything from Canada and world politics, world history, world issues course. There's international business. So courses that have an international flavor to it that would help guide your focus into that. The last component is 100 hours of intercultural experiences, and that can be a number of different ways that you can do that. It can be done through travel if there's an educational component to it. So that would be something that you'd let Mr. Olson know about ahead of time, and he could explain what's involved with that. There is also, you can take courses, not courses, you can volunteer with cultural groups around the city. And you can also, there's cultural groups. I'm sorry, I just blanked out on the third thing, but I'll get back to that. The last, or not the last, but the other programs that we have at Hillcrest is the Specialist High Skills Major programs, and we offer 2 focuses on those. One is the environment through the Indigenous lens, and that's a combination of environment, science, and Indigenous beliefs and studies that incorporate learning about not just taking a set of courses, but also you do co-op in related programs. You get additional certifications and things such as first aid and CPR. You have your WMIS training for outdoor ed, for the environment SHISM. They have also wilderness training, a variety of different safety certifications. So all things that students, if they want to apply for in grade 11 and 12, they can join in. It's great to help build up a resume while you're in high school. And more colleges and universities are recognizing it as students have accomplished something beyond just the regular diploma. This is actually a seal that you get on a diploma that ends up kind of putting you a step above. It's an extra commitment that you've shown to do. Likewise with arts and culture, there's a variety of different avenues that you can approach. If you're an artist, if you're, we have part of it is the foods course, the music program, and now we're bringing back drama. So that's very exciting for us to see that develop. If you have any questions about that, feel free, you can contact me about that, and I can help explain and guide you through that. Okay, and then I'll pass it over to Jamie.
Back to me. So our timetable looks a little different than it does in elementary school. We run on a semestered system. And so we have 4 classes in semester 1 and then 4 classes in semester 2. Semester 1 runs from September to January, and then semester 2 just started February to June. Each class, you have 4 classes a day, and they are 75 minutes, and then we have 1 55-minute lunch. There's no recess, so there's just 5 minutes between classes, which is enough time for you to go to your locker, get your next books, make it to your next class, and potentially also get a snack. Our lunch is obviously a little bit longer than it is in elementary school. And it's important to note that we run on a rotation schedule. So we have a day 1 where classes are in order of class A, B, lunch, class C, and then D. And then on a day 2, everything kind of switches. So it's a class B first, then A, lunch, and then after lunch it's block D and C. And I know it sounds confusing when you first hear about it, but I guarantee you within a couple weeks you will be totally fine, and you'll know it like the back of your hand. So we do have quite a few sports, and we're very excited that we're starting to welcome them all back after a little bit of a hiatus. We have our team sports, as well as our individual sports and other non-competitive sport programs for students who maybe don't want to join a team but still want to be healthy and active. So we do have our weight room, our fitness club, we have a spin room, we also have our intramurals at lunchtime, which a lot of students like to play, especially when they get to battle the teacher team. So the sports kind of run in different seasons depending on what is being run across the entire city. And we do compete against other schools. in terms of different competitions and tournaments. We do, like Ms. Isaac mentioned, we do have our state-of-the-art soccer fields that we share with the city. So that's one of our really big prides and joy. And then we also have a very large rugby pitch behind the school. And we also back onto another park, which you can't see unfortunately in that picture, but it has multiple pitches on the other side of the forest. So we're very lucky that given our location, we have lots of green space and lots of playing area, as well as 2 gyms inside where we can play basketball and different tournaments there as well. In terms of other ways to get involved, like our student council presidents mentioned, it's really important to get involved in your grade 8 or grade 9 year because it does help set the tone for your entire high school experience. And I can appreciate that not everybody is a sport person, and so we do have lots of other clubs that students can get involved in, including student council and link crew. We also have a variety of other clubs that are also starting to come back, including our drama club, our Best Buddies program, which works with our developmentally delayed unit in the school, as well as our Rainbow Club, Breakfast Club, and a variety of others. Our chess club is really big right now, which is amazing to see. So every Friday they play chess at lunch, which is great, and have a little tournament. And if there is a club that you don't see on this list and you want to start, all you need to do is find a teacher sponsor and a couple students to do it with you, and we are happy to add more to our list. In terms of other resources at school that are very, very helpful for students across their entire 4-year experience, obviously Dan and myself are available in guidance to talk to students about their academics, as well as social and emotional support. But we also have our link crew, which is our grade 11 and 12 students who are assigned to look after and be there for our incoming grade 9s and kind of show them the way of being in high school. We also have a student success teacher who is focused on academic success for all of our students, and we have our learning support teacher as well, who is in charge of taking care of our students who have IEPs and need a little extra academic support that way. We also are very lucky that we have a psychologist, a social worker, a mental health worker as well, and they are all in the building on a very regular basis to support our students with their mental health needs. And then we also have Rita Wood's addiction counselor and our multicultural liaison officer, as well as our African, Black, and Caribbean graduation coach, and Rajo, who comes into the building on quite a regular basis to run our boys club and girls club. We also have Instagram, which is run by myself and Dan in Student Services. And so anything that we have to put out in terms of course selection or graduation information or just updates about the school, we tend to post it on our Student Services Instagram page as well as our website. And obviously we also email it out to students and parents. I'm going to pass it back to Janice.
Okay, so I would like to thank Jamie Bell, our head of guidance, and Dan De La Fuente, our guidance counselor, for putting together the presentation and setting up the Meet link for this evening. They both actually made this look quite easy, but there was a lot of background work involved. So thanks so much. We realize this is a lot of information to take in when you're considering your child's future school and getting ready for high school. It is and it's very good to learn even more, especially about the elective courses that we offer from grade 10 and up, as that's the space where students get to start making a lot more choice in programming. So for example, here at Hillcrest, as mentioned, our foods courses and technology courses, including computer design and transportation, are extremely popular. If you wish to view the presentation later, it will be saved on the school board website. The fastest way to access it is to Google OCDSB Welcome to High School. At a later date, we will post a virtual tour of the school on the Hillcrest High School website, so keep an eye there. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact any of us. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we truly cannot wait to welcome you all to our school community next September. So see you soon and have a great night.
Ilias, I think we're hoping that our cafeteria will be open. It all depends on COVID protocols. So we have every intention of getting back to normal as quickly as possible. But the board is the one who decides whether or not we can open the cafeteria and offer food. No problem.